Yo, what's up guys, a new video. Today I'm going to show you how to start coding C++ on Visual Studio. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of how to install the compiler, how to install the Visual Studio, and how to configure the settings in the Visual Studio and to start actually coding with not facing any problems. I did not use the CodeLite as the IDE. Instead, I'll use the Visual Studio because it's known, free, and there's a lot of problems in CodeLite. The compiler doesn't work in CodeLite for everyone. Like in my old device, the compiler did not work well with the CodeLite. So we're gonna do today with Visual Studio, as also a lot of my friends did not work out with the CodeLite. Okay, so I'm gonna take you with a step-by-step process. We're gonna install everything from the scratch. I don't have the compiler, I don't have the Visual Studio. I'm gonna take you step by step so you and I are on the same level. Let's start. Okay, so first you're gonna paste this link, which is my visualstudio.microsoft.com. You're gonna see the link in the description down below. You do not want to install the Visual Studio, you want to install the Visual Studio code. Okay, how do you install it? You press on learn more. Okay, and then you press on download for Windows. Okay, after you download for Windows, you're gonna cancel that. You're not gonna download it now. I'm gonna tell you when you're gonna download it. Let's check. Yes, I'm recording. I don't want to miss something. You're gonna press on C++. Okay, GCC on Windows. Cool. We're here now. Leave this page, open a new tab, and go search for minkw download. Ignore this one, you're gonna download this one, the GNU for Windows. This is the compiler, this is not. This is the compiler, okay? You press download, okay, and you download the compiler. Just walk with me step by step so you can actually start coding. Save file. I'm gonna take the setup somewhere in my desktop so I don't go to the, see a lot. Okay, so we're gonna set up the minkw. I'm taking you step by step. As you can see, it's gonna get saved in the C. Run now. Okay, and actually you're gonna tick everything. You're gonna mark for install every single thing. You're not gonna leave anything, okay? So I know it's a lot, but you should download everything. So how to mark all upgrades. Okay, press on installation, mark all updates, and then wait a couple seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna take you step by step to choose actually what are you gonna mark for installation. You're gonna mark probably everything, and this is to prevent the compiler errors that happens in the IDE. Okay, so you're gonna mark everything in here. I know it's a lot. I know it's gonna take a lot time for installation, but I'm walking you through the steps so you cannot miss anything. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and come back when I mark everything. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see in the minkw installation, I've marked everything related to minkw32, okay? MSYS, you don't need to mark any of this because it's not related to C++ at all, okay? So it's mink30w that you need. Mark everything for installation, and then press install, apply changes, okay? Then apply and wait for it to install. It's gonna take time, but you gotta wait. Alright, so I finished installing the minkw32. Now I have to go to Control Panel, press on go to the Search tab and press on ENV, which is Environment. Edit the System Environment Variables, okay? The environment variables right here. And we go to Path. This path, we edit the path. and then we add new. We're gonna add a new file, okay? And browse. I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing this. So we're gonna go to this PC. You're gonna go to the C where you downloaded the Ming32W, the Ming.w, and then you're gonna open it at the bin file. You're gonna add it. Okay, you're gonna add the bin file. Good, good. You added the bin file. Now press new again, and then browse. Go to the C again, to the Ming.w, and then go to the Ming32. Ming.w32. There's another bin. Add it as well. Why do we do that? We are actually connecting the compiler to your codes that you're gonna write on Visual Studio. So those two bins are the actually compilers that connect your codes to the PC. Okay, so now you added the bin, and actually you're gonna start downloading the Visual Studio. We're finished with the compiler right now. The compiler step is done. Now we go back to the tab and install the Visual Studio code. Okay, we're gonna install it, save file. I'm gonna walk through the steps. I'm gonna walk through it step by step so we do not miss anything. I don't want you, after watching this video, facing any troubles with the compiling or the codes. Okay. We're gonna install it. Yes, accept. You see, add to path. You know the path where we added the bin files? Yes, you should mark this as tick. Don't forget, because this is the way you're gonna debug or compile your codes. Downloading the Visual Studio. Finish. Great. Now we're gonna minimize this. Sorry, I'm gonna minimize that. And then we go back to the C++, GCC on Windows, and then we install the C++ extension for Visual Studio Code. Press on that, then we press here install, and then Visual Studio is required to install this extension. Yes, we already downloaded this Visual Studio Code, so we're gonna continue. Visual Studio, open link. Yes, install, and it's installing. So we're walking through the steps here. You see this choose path variable? We've already done it. Add path to your Ming.w. We've done it already as the first step. I'm just saying, okay. Where is it? Yeah, it's already there. Good. Now, what steps do we have to do? We're gonna create a new file. Okay, so it asks us to create a new file, but there's a problem right here. The Visual Studio of this site, I mean the tutorial of this site, is a bit old. So what you gotta do is you'll never find this icon in here. So what you gotta do is minimize everything. Okay, create a folder, name it let's say hello world, name it that, and then go to the Visual Studio, open folder. Okay, yes, open this folder. Now you have created a folder. Good. Now you can see new file right here. You see this? Wait a second, where's the new file? You can actually see it right here. First you gotta make a folder in the desktop, open it through the Visual Studio, then create a new file. Good. This is how you create a new file in the new Visual Studio. But unfortunately, the site has a tutorial of an old Visual Studio. Okay, add hello world source code. Paste this in your. Okay, we're gonna just copy that. Copy, Control C, and paste it. Good. What's the next step? Now press Control S to save the file. Okay, Control S. Good. We're gonna name it. He asks me to name it hello world dot cpp, right? Dot cpp, yeah. And then you go to save as type all files. Okay, press save. Good. Okay. Explore the entity sense. You can just write msg, which is message dot. You're gonna write it right here. Okay, tab msg dot. If it shows this list, it means that the compiler is working. Okay, fine. Now what we do? Build hello world. Okay, now you create tasks.json. Listen, guys, I'm taking the steps for the first time, so I'm exactly right. I'm exactly just like you. Okay, from the main menu, choose terminal, configure default build task. Okay, where's the okay terminal, configure default build task. Okay, now what to do? We choose this option, g++.exe. Okay, again, sorry, g++.exe. Is it this one? Yeah, it's actually a lot of them because I downloaded the compiler twice. Okay, once at the old time and the second time in this tutorial. So it shows everything twice. Okay, I'll choose this. Now what? Your new task file should look similar to this. Okay, this thing right here looks somehow like this. Okay, version 2.00. Here's version 2.00. Okay. Okay, now what should we do? Running to the build. Go to the hello world.cpp. Okay, your task builds active file and you want to build. Okay, to run the build task file, press Ctrl+Shift+B from the terminal main menu. Okay, so you go back here and then Ctrl+Shift+B. Okay. Okay, terminal will be resumed by task. Press any key to close it. Okay. Now what do we do? Create a new terminal using the plus button. Fine, and you will have a new terminal running PowerShell with the Hello World folder as the working director.run dir, and you should now see the executable hello world.exe. Okay, so we press the plus button and then we're gonna see this. Good. Now what? You can run hello world in the terminal by typing. Okay, we're gonna type this, copy, and we type it right here, Control V. Okay, hello world from Visual Studio Code and C+ extension. Okay, modify task join. You can modify the task.json to build C++ files using an argument like, instead of this will build up .cpp in the file, blah, 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 blah. You can also modify. It's just modifying. We're not into here yet. Okay. Debug hello world.cpp. Next, you will create a launch.json. Okay, just follow his steps so you can code afterwards. You know, when you're gonna code after all of these steps, you're not gonna do any of these. This is just to install and configure your application, which is the Visual Studio. Okay, now you will create a launch.json file to configure visualize code to launch the GDB debugger. Okay, now press F5. Good. And we're gonna choose this. Fine. We're here. What do we press? So F5, yeah. F5. And then we choose g++.exe debug active file. Okay, I'm here. And I press F5. Actually, it doesn't show. Why don't we just go with this? Oh, yeah. And here's it. Isn't it this one? Build and debug active file. Yeah, so we press F5. If it shows you those two steps, it's the GDB. Choose the GDB, which is too obvious. We're working on it. And then choose the first option, which is the g++.exe. Okay, now what? Blah, 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 blah. I don't understand any of this. Let's just go with the steps. File opens in the directory and builds and runs hello world. Okay. Okay, the program specifies the program you want to debug here. Is it set active folder? Blah 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 blah. By default, the C++ won't add any breakpoints to your source code, and blah 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 blah. Start debugging session. Okay, go back to hello world.cpp. Okay, press F5 or from the main menu, debug, start debugging. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go back to hello world, go debug, start debugging, and it, as you can see right here, active file. Okay, okay, now what? I don't know what should happen next. It's the first time. Okay, step through the code. Click, press step over, blah, blah. It doesn't show right here, but I think we have done it. You can actually now debug your code and it does not show any error. Okay, let's debug without this. This is an error right now. It should be included with an E, but we're gonna erase the E and start debugging. Will it show? Yeah, shows errors. Okay. Let's do it with the E and start debugging. Okay, cool. It did not show any errors. Good. So it actually works. The debugger works. Okay, this is pretty much the video. We'll just walk through the steps and if we see if we missed something. Do we have to do anything? Set a watch. You want to edit the configuration? Ctrl+Shift+P. Let's see what does it want. Okay, Ctrl+Shift+P. C and C++. Edit configuration JSON or UI. It seems like it chooses the UI. Okay, what do I have to do, son? Okay, this and this. I'm gonna have it. This is the Ming W from your C. It does not have to be the same thing as this, but the Win32, yes, it's here. Okay, so it's pretty much everything. Now we finished our video. Now your compiler works, your Visual Studio works, everything is going okay. And if you want me to prove to you, let's say I do not write the most important code at the beginning and I start debugging, it's gonna show an error. You see? Errors. Because this is what you should start, which is include IOStream. Unfortunately, I cannot teach you to code C++. You can go take courses, but I only made this tutorial to actually start the configuration and the installation of Visual Studio and the compiler. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you need any tutorials, if you need any teachings, just put it in the comments. I'm in a vacation right now, and thank you for watching.